MMA, frontproofmedia.com. Coming at you after a crazy night of fights. Michelle Waterson versus Karate Hottie. Everything that we wanted it to be plus more. I have to take back what I originally said on the podcast where I was upset about them not having Uriah Faber as at least the co-main event in this fight, because you had Sage Northcutt, Nikki Gall. These are new up-and-comers. Paige Van Zandt, I mean, she deserves her headline, but when you have somebody like Uriah Faber that we've been watching and who's been helping build this sport and bring viewers in, you got to want to celebrate his retirement, right? So I think they did an amazing job putting that together on this show. So I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at UFC that put that together. I literally got the goosebumps watching that. I don't know about you guys, but that was a moment. And I'm going to strictly talk about the main card here. If you're just tuning in, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. Subscribe down below. Podcast is up and running on iTunes and podbean.com, so definitely check that out. I am now in full control of it. It's going to be dropping every Monday, so you guys download it, subscribe on iTunes, stay fresh up on all the MMA news going around. We have fun segments always, quizzes, stuff to keep you entertained, whether you're in the way to work in the morning, whether you're at the gym, whatever you're doing. Spend the morning with us on Monday up on Apple iTunes. We have a new home, so I will be posting that link on our Facebook page. All you got to do, facebook.com/Pure Evil MMA, twitter.com, and just search at Pure Evil MMA. Simple as that. So, fight that really stood out to me going into this. Of course, there was a bunch of great fights, but the main card is what really stood out to me tonight. Going in there, Platinum Mike Perry running his game, had a huge hype train behind him. I know that on Wednesday's show, Ted Sheck picked him, Mike Perry, to beat Alan Jouban. But my thing here is I just thought Alan was just, he goes in there and he performs at the highest, and he deserves to be where he's at right now. And he's been on a crazy streak. I thought that Michael Perry was going to have some trouble because he just loads up on that one punch, trying to play that with him. And Jouban's great with the kicks. He was landing some amazing kicks on Mike Perry and even rocked him a few times in that fight. And we kept seeing Alan Jouban get pushed up back against the fence, against the cage. And immediately when we see that, we go, oh no. But it looked like Jouban just had it down perfect. I mean, in that first round, people were saying that Jouban lost. Mike Perry had that round. But after that, Jouban pushing forward and even ending the fight with his signature style cartwheel kick. So shout out to him. And I even said this before. I was like, this is like the fight of, because we all know Versace model Alan Jouban. It was like the night of fights for models, like down the walkway. Like they should have had, instead of them walking out like through the hockey gates, the hockey tunnels, it would be a walkway. And you have all people taking pictures. That's what it almost felt like. And Alan Jouban escaped that fight without even a mark on his face. So I'm sure Versace's happy about that. Shout out to him. I can't wait to see what's next for him. He really showed everybody that he's a serious fighter. And if you're going to give him competition like that, up and comers, where you think they're just going to run through him, you got another thing coming. Alan Jouban puts a halt and derails the train of Platinum Michael Perry. A lot of people picked against Jouban here, but he pulls through. Very happy that he did. And then we had Uriah Faber versus Brad Pickett. These two were going to fight at any time. And I'm so happy it finally happened for Uriah Faber's last and final walkout. They even showed the walkout on Fox, which I definitely have to say thank you for that, because that's a moment we all really wanted to see him walk out to, his walkout song, which should be retired with him. What else can we say about that? The first round going right in there, Uriah Faber gets a knockout, and we thought he was going to finish. Well, he got a knockdown, knocks Brad Pickett down, and then tries to go for the submission attempt and was just laying and hammering, giving it all he had. It was the perfect moment, and I was like, oh my God, is this really going to be a fairy tale ending to the legacy and the Hall of Fame career of Uriah Faber? Is this what we're really going to see him go out as? Because he looks amazing. Well, he didn't get that, but rounds 2 and 3, he did an amazing job. Pickett was landing this crazy kick where it was like really taking out his ankle, like an ankle kick. Forgot exactly what kind of kick it is, but it definitely screwed up the legs, and we see that in a lot of Uriah Faber's fights where he stands really heavy on that lead leg. We saw that in Jose Aldo fight. I mean, Uriah Faber's had so many amazing fights. They did an amazing job showcasing it. Amazing job showcasing that tonight, and I just really am pleased and want to take back my words of how I was so upset with the UFC not having him as the main event, if not the co-main event, over Nikki and Sage and Paige, Karate Hottie. So then after that, Faber taking his bow, last bow to the crowd. Standing ovation. He walks out. Then Sage Northcutt versus Mickey Gall. We saw a whole different side to Mickey Gall in this one, and I think, not Mickey Gall. I mean Sage. We saw a different side in Sage Northcutt tonight. We saw Sage that talks back, a Sage that gets hyped up, slapping the mat, and he really was just angry. We saw an angry Sage Northcutt, and I think that Mickey Gall's game really played into his head. He did an amazing job executing his plan of calling Sage Northcutt out after he beat CM Punk. It was perfect. You got both these guys that were found on UFC Fight Pass by Dana White looking for a fight. And it was only right. Both these guys were huge hype. Sage, end of 2015 and throughout 2016, but we saw him lost to Bam Bam Barberina, who also fought tonight. Hats off to him, but he did not get the win. Sage got taken down a few times. He was thrown with Mickey Gall, even tagged Mickey Gall a few times. But Mickey Gall's takedowns, and he was just pounding him out on the ground, and sinks in that rear naked choke on him like we see in every fight in round 2 this time, and gets the win over Sage. So then he calls out Dan Hardy. What do you guys think about that? Calling out a retired Dan Hardy. It only fits Mickey Gall to do that because he's kind of fighting these marquee fighters, like he said in his post-fight interview. It fits in that kind of way, but I mean, I want to see Mickey Gall put to a test. I want to see it could be something they could build off of. I do like that. I'm waiting to see what Dan Hardy says about it. I'm not all for it, but I do like the sounds of it. I think that was a good thinking on Mickey Gall's part. So we're going to have to wait and see what Dan Hardy has to say about that. I don't know. It would be good, but just I know there's going to be a lot of you guys out there that don't like that matchup. And hats off to Mickey Gall tonight, too, for making an amazing step up the ladder, taking out Sage Northcutt, showing us that he's better than this guy. Even though that we're saying that, oh, this dude's fighting Kansas, he fought CM Punk. Well, this is still kind of the case, being Sage Northcutt doesn't do that much for you, but it does in the sense of both of these guys are newer fighters. They're hot prospects of 2015, 2016, and getting a win over the guy that's right there with you only can elevate you and your career to push forward. So congratulations, Mickey Gall. It was a co-main event, almost marking a new era of MMA fighters, of MMA stars, so to say. Mickey Gall, great year for that kid. What a run. We're going to see what's next for him. Let us know what you guys think about that on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA, and also on Facebook, facebook.com/Pure Evil MMA. You want to find my personal page? It's as simple as evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Make sure you guys check out the podcast every week. We're going to be doing more than just a weekly podcast. Before we get into our main event, really quick, let me just address this to anyone tuning in late for this. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, now part of frontproofmedia.com. Definitely check that site up. We have an amazing MMA team over there, making sure that you guys get the latest and hottest MMA news going around right now, and always put our heart and passion into what we do over there. Trying to maintain a good relationship with all the fighters. We have a blast doing the interviews. We just had a bunch of fighters on this year. Between Mayhem Miller, we got to talk with Alan Joban on cage-side submissions this year. We even talked to Karate Hottie this year on cage-side submissions. It's been a hot year for me over here at Pure Evil MMA Studios, and people coming through this, coming to me on this journey. We even got to speak with Bilal Muhammad, so definitely check it out up on iTunes, podbean.com, Pure Evil MMA. All right, so Karate Hottie versus Paige Van Zandt. Karate Hottie, check this out, had a little layoff coming into this fight. People who are familiar with her knew that, all right, well, she is a little bit smaller than Paige. You know, Paige definitely has a size advantage and the height behind her. She has the great personality, but when you get into the octagon, a switch goes off on Paige. She becomes 12 gauge. When we go in there with 12 gauge, she's going to hit on the striking, but the Muay Thai of the Karate Hottie was disengaging that in the very first round, and even landing a couple of really nice jabs on Paige. On Paige. So then she gets an amazing takedown, putting Paige up against the cage, throwing her over the shoulder, and then winding up, taking her back, and submitting her very early in the first round. Not what a lot of us thought would happen very early in the fight. And it almost seemed like Paige was trying to be too flashy, trying to like find something new to keep that hype going. But really in this fight, it wasn't you doing anything special in this fight. It was you taking out a veteran fighter who's also an atomweight champion. And I think Paige, we're going to have to see in her post-fight interview, I mean, she still has a great future ahead of her, and Karate Hottie is no joke. But coming off a highlight reel knockout over Beck Rawlings with that switch kick the can kick, she was looking to aim for something, to shock everyone once again. And I don't feel she needed to do that. If she needed to slow down, take round after round, and she wound up getting ahead of herself, and Karate Hottie executed a great game plan, getting her down and submitting her. Anyway, and that's exactly what Paige should have expected her to do. Great fight for everyone on that main card. It was a great energy, I felt, tonight. And the way to end the year, but we have one more left. Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes. What do you guys think about that? Is it going to be Ronda? Because tonight they played back-to-back Ronda Rousey commercials. And my girlfriend, Angie Jabs, was just jabbing away saying how Ronda, she just doesn't like Ronda. We'll put it that way. But she still thinks that she's going to beat Amanda. So that gets me to my point, which I say a lot. Lover or hater, you're going to be tuning in. You're going to want to know, if you don't tune in, who won that fight. Was it Ronda? Was it Amanda? And Amanda versus Ronda is going to be a battle of the ages, because Ronda Rousey brings a whole different energy when she comes to the table. And we're going to see that again. It will only be right if she comes back and gets that belt. It would only be perfect. And that doesn't happen a lot. But tonight, guys, we saw flawless, perfect, shielded from the MMA gods. A night to remember to end our year. Definitely something to talk about. Uriah Faber getting the walkout, them showing that. Mickey Gall getting the win over Sage North. Alan Jouban derailing the hype train of Platinum Mike Perry. What do you rate this, guys? Really quick before I sign off. I'm giving tonight 4 stars. 4 stars. The energy was there. The performance was there. All the fighters are on their top game. And we are left with so many questions now. It's been an amazing year. We've moved forward. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, frontproofmedia.com. I hope you guys had a great night with me. Behave yourselves. Make sure you find us on iTunes, podbean.com. The link will be on our Facebook page, facebook.com/PureEvilMMA, twitter.com. Just search @PureEvilMMA. Behave yourselves. Until Monday.